connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giles.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Michelle.
And we're the Beyond the Trope podcast.
Every week, we delve into topics like pop culture, fiction writing, and other nerdy things.
We feature laid-back conversations, bad puns, and in-depth interviews with authors, comic creators, and more. Find our show at beyondthetrope.com.
Hey, this is Andre Gower from the Monster Squad, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic-Con 2018 and a proud member of the Denver Podcast Network. We are Denver's premier movie podcast. I am Ryan. With me is
Zach
and
Brad.
Wow, not very many people this week.
Well,
and we're doing it in the morning. When's the last time we... I was thinking that as we're coming over here, last time we did this in the morning, I think was for The Dark Knight Rises.
Well, if you consider the morning like 2 hours after midnight, yeah.
Well, no, it was like... No, we saw the movie at midnight, remember?
Oh, that was like 4 in the morning, actually.
Yeah, so it was like 4 in the morning.
wow.
But like as far as sleeping and then waking up to do the podcast,
Yeah.
I think it's the earliest we've ever done.
I think so, too. Usually it's like 11 or something is usually the earliest.
Yeah.
But every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week we saw Jigsaw. I want to play a game.
Wait, you didn't see Boo 2?
I was going to. Medea's Halloween. You'll notice that James isn't here because James is a pussy. And he's afraid of horror movies for some reason.
Well, he also thinks that Saw is an inferior copy of 7, which I guess I see his point.
I know, I thought we gave every movie a chance.
Yeah, except for James.
Yeah, except for last week.
Yeah. That's true. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. I'm always tempted because when we're part of the media. I don't know if people know this. We get emails from Alamo saying if we want to attend a show to let them know. I'm like, man, I should do those for movies we really don't want to see.
Yeah.
But are they even showing Boo 2 at Alamo? I don't think so. They're not showing Jigsaw.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kind of surprised Jigsaw wasn't showing there. Boo 2, I kind of understand.
Really, I'm not that surprised at all. I mean, it's...
When I look at the schedule, I'm not really looking for it. So
yeah, that's true too, I guess.
Yeah.
But they've got other stuff coming. Or they were supposed to have the Florida project, and I don't know what happened there. But
And they got Dismember the Alamo this weekend and stuff. So.
Oh yeah,
No.
I think that's today. It starts at noon.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they got a ton of stuff
I know. I wish
going
I could do it, but I have my kid. If my wife wasn't working, I'd go do it. My cousin Lisa, she didn't go this year, I don't think, but she would come down from South Dakota just to see it because it's 4 like hidden movies, and I guess you're able to decipher what the movies are through the email they sent. I couldn't do it. And two, I love the Alamo, but sometimes their Dismember to Remember is like really artsy horror films. I'm like, no. I'd rather have them do like Halloween than like Friday 4, Hellraiser, and then like something else. I think that'd be awesome.
I want to get the vibe of the season, and sometimes just experimental horror shorts are not like...
Yeah. And I mean, there's no knock on them, and there's no knock on like the people that make those films. But when I hear Dismember to Remember, I want to see like slasher films.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe if I was in charge.
It's in the name.
But I'm not.
I mean, the local Alamo elections are coming up.
That is true.
We'll use our voice to make some changes.
Make Alamo great again, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we do have fan mail. Does somebody have ability to pull up our email?
We have a fan mail?
We do. Because my kid has my phone and he's watching Puppy Dog Pals. For some reason, I can't get onto Zach's internet here.
I think Zach's going to have to do it. Please hold for technical difficulties.
While we're holding, let's go around town with Brad.
Well, this weekend, if you're not busy seeing Thor, the Esquire's playing Princess Mononoke at midnight. And then the drive-in, sadly, has retired Blade Runner 2049. I didn't get to see it at the drive-in. Funny story, I tried to see it on Tuesday. Or was it Monday? Let's say Tuesday. I drove all the way out there. I even checked it like ahead of time to see if they posted like, hey, are we closed today? And I didn't check like the actual hours. I just checked like for notices of are they closed. So I got there and it was like, completely empty. And then I don't know if you've been there, but you have to like drive through this like narrow corridor that loops around to the box office. So I'd already gotten in there and like I didn't want to back out, so I had to do this like move the sign, drive forward, put the sign back, go around, move the next sign, drive back, move the cones, get out. It was funny. If it was like a Mr. Bean sketch.
They're just like, no, you're not getting in.
But they're playing Flatliners, Happy Death Day, and It this week. So.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Yeah. So that's a Halloween kind of...
Yeah, they always put together like a Halloween lineup.
That sounds like a Dismember to Remember to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably check that out.
All right.
But I think they're only open Wednesday through Sunday, so good luck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the off-season.
I would have liked to see Jigsaw on there, but,
I felt like it wasn't until November that they, like reduced the hours, because I remember being able to get out to the Halloween show, and, yeah.
So we got an email... Feed meal. That's going to be from Dan. And it's a Film Explosion 2007 stats.
Okay.
Oh.
And when it pops up on Zach's computer.
There we go.
So what he did is he went through and he assigned point totals to each film. So the number 10 film gets 1 point, and so on and so forth. So according to him and the stats, Zach, go ahead and read them for the listeners.
Okay. So... I'll read the full email really quickly here. Hi, Real Nerds. Some stats on your Film Explosion 2007 list. 33 different films represented. 24 different films were only on one person's list. One film was on everyone's list, which was Hot Fuzz. I gave each film a score based on where it ranked on a list. Number 1 film got 10 points. Number 2 film gets 9 points, and so on down to number 10 film getting 1 point. And then added everything up. The list below is what came of it. Sorry, it's being crazy, but at the top of the list with 39 points is Hot Fuzz. With 28 points tied is Zodiac and No Country for Old Men. Superbad with 24 points. Grindhouse both with 15 points, and that's distinctive because sometimes they split it up between Planet Terror and Death Proof. 12 points with Juno. 12 points with Ratatouille. There's a lot of 8s here for Gone Baby Gone, Live Free or Die Hard, Sunshine, There Will Be Blood, Trick or Treat. And the only 7 is Transformers.
And Henry's list. That was the biggest shock of that Film Explosion, that Transformers was on Henry's list.
I kind of figured based on how he talked about it with the Last Night podcast that he was going to put it on there at some point, but I just didn't know where. That high was kind of confusing to me. 6 points. We have Spider-Man 3, Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert
So
Ford.
they're equal in quality.
And Darjeeling Limited. 5, we had Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters, La Vie en Rose and Reign Over Me. 28 weeks later, 310 to Yuma and Death Proof and Planet Terror and The King of Kong all got 4s. Number 3 was 300, Atonement and Mr. Bean's Holiday. Blades of Glory and Hairspray were 2-pointers, and the 1-pointers were I'm Not There, Resident Evil Extinction, The Simpsons Movie, and TMNT. Grindhouse was also, one way or another, represented by all 5 of you. Thanks, Dan Weingart.
Thanks for putting in the effort,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
So, if everyone had just done, like, Grindhouse's Both movie, like it was released as that year, then, yeah, I guess it would have competed with Hot Fuzz for...
Yeah.
I like that he assigned specific points to prove.
Well, that's kind of how they do it in the Academy Award for like Best Picture.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do.
This is why the voting confuses me. And
if you couldn't follow any of that, you can just go to the Film Explosion 2007 page on the website, and I pasted those stats on there so you can read them and
see. Because again, it's a little movie inside baseball there. That's how the Academy Awards does it. Mm-hmm. Is you assign points for a certain movie, and then they calculate those points, and they base those on the nominations and who's ever going to win. And
then they ignore it completely and give the award to Chicago.
I want to send him our other lists and see what stats he pulls out of those.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Because, I mean, we're only, 2 months away from the end of the year film explosion, which
Oh, boy.
my list this year for favorite films is pretty big right now.
You and I were talking like the other week, like there's still a bunch of stuff coming out by the end of the year that's like things are going to get knocked out.
There's 3 big movies still to come.
Yeah. I know. I have Ragnarok next week. 2 weeks is Justice League, and then Star Wars.
There's also some like smaller fare, like 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing,
Missouri.
which looks definitely
awesome.
Has contention.
That trailer makes me laugh. The Red Band one,
yeah,
where she's yelling at the newscaster as she's driving by.
I saw the Green Band one. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, why would you even show that trailer?
I think the best bit, though, actually from the trailer is where Frances McDermott comes in. She's like, "Hey, fuckface." Yeah. Someone says fuckface, you don't answer. Good stuff.
It's like one of the least dirty bits, but I love when after she's attacked the dentist and Woody Harrelson comes like, "You didn't happen to visit the dentist's office today?" "No, sir." "What?" "No, sir."
Good stuff.
Yeah.
By the guy who did Imbrusion.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one he did? Can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, and I mean, Suburbicon came out this week, and I'm going to go check it out, but I the confidence in me keeps getting shot.
I don't know. It's one of those movies that might be too weird for people to like.
I guess
I heard
so.
It's completely not what the trailer sells it as.
And,
really?
Well, I've heard it's like 2 different movies cobbled together into one thing, and I don't know. But we'll see. I'll see it next week.
Well, that and the for it to get to theaters and have made was quite the journey too. So.
Yeah. So, but anyway, there's plenty of stuff coming up. I can't wait to see Hugh Jackman play P.T. Barnum.
Yeah,
that'll be
that
fun
one too.
Greatest Showman.
Yeah, and then Downsizing looks fun.
Yeah.
There's plenty. There's plenty. You never know.
We also scour the internet, or Zach goes to one of my least favorite websites for real news.
It's real news.
In fairness to them, they've gotten better.
Yeah. So, interesting news right out the gate. Fast and Furious 9 director Justin Lin and Jordana Brewster to return. Justin Lin returning? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Jordana Brewster, though, isn't she married to a very important member of the crew that's no longer there?
She's married to family.
Family. So yeah, but no, her character's married or is with Paul Walker's character, and Paul Walker, I don't know if you know this, is dead. So but
dude, he died 5 years ago. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. No, in a offside news though, I guess his daughter settled with Porsche regarding the wrongful death suit. So that's interesting and whatnot. But yeah, in order to announce the return of Justin Lin, who I guess is not going to do Space Jam 2 at this point, everyone's favorite Hulkin guy, Vin Diesel, came into the Facebook video where he announced that Lin and Brewster are returning. I believe the direct quote was, "Jordana's coming back." I can't do it. I'm sorry.
We're doing family. That's more Sylvester Stallone.
Hello.
I don't know. That Fast and Furious isn't coming out for 3 years or something. Was it 2020?
Neil Moritz confirmed that the 10th one will be the final film. So
whatever.
I mean,
but can you believe there's going to be 10 of them? I
said
honestly
Saw
cannot
was the
believe
last
that.
one.
I could. Well, horror films makes a little more sense to me, but 10 movies about dudes running car. Well, they've really gone off the rails, but. It's pretty shocking to me that there's that many of them.
Well,
technically 11 because they're making a Statham Rock movie spin-off.
Which they're trying to get Shane Black to
I'm
do.
sure 2028 will roll around and everyone will be like, oh, we're so nostalgic for those Fast and Furious movies. Let's get the whole crew back together and make one more go at it. Mm-hmm. This time they're old.
It's going in style, but with the Rock Vin Diesel.
Going Fast and Furious in style.
I do love this headline, so I'm going to repeat it via /film. Lethal Weapon 5 might happen because nothing really matters anymore. I guess Gibson, Glover, and Donner are working to
Man,
make
Richard Donner hasn't
Lethal
made a
Weapon.
movie in a while.
I know, and I guess they're gonna have Channing Gibson write it, and he was the writer of Lethal Weapon 4, which I don't.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun film. I think 3's the weakest of them, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is Deadline's reporting that they are currently talking with Warner Brothers about the possibility of it.
Well, my favorite thing about Lethal Weapons are the scene changes and like the saxophones, like.
Michael Kamen and Eric Clapton's jazzy ass score. I love the shit out of it, man. Are you kidding me? It's a great series. And Gibson's got to come back.
I'm down for another one. I'd see it.
Gibson's getting an acting comeback now too with Daddy's Home 2.
Yeah.
I mean, well, get the Gringo and the other one, Bloodfather or whatever.
Sometimes I hate to get on my high horse, but
Here we go.
Where do people draw the line? I mean, they let Roman Polanski and Woody Allen make movies, and Mel Gibson. I mean, yeah, he said some bad things, but is that worse than like raping a 13-year-old girl? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. It's weird how you can get in trouble for certain things and not other ones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not just movies. I mean, the NFL, Michael Vick, killed a bunch of dogs, but I guess if you're Ben Roethlisberger and sexually assault some girl in a bathroom, people just forget about it. Mm-hmm. Or if you're Ray Lewis and implicated in murder, meh.
It's money makes the world go round, guys.
But Mel Gibson used to be money in the bank.
I know he did, and then
I'm trying to think what his big movie was when his decline happened.
Probably Apocalypto.
Well, because remember he did the Passion
2007
and Apocalypto, and then he kind of just stopped doing stuff.
Passion was kind of like the beginning of his downfall, and then
Machete Kills. That was
that's
3
true.
years ago.
And Expendables 3.
Yeah,
but more like just cameos. Though he's not.
Well, he was also in The Beaver.
That's true.
I love that trailer because it's just Mel Gibson talking to a puppet.
Anyways,
in some lighter news, did you guys know that James Franco directed The Disaster Artist in character as Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard it's driving Seth Rogen crazy.
I love I can't wait for this fucking movie. That's another one that
looks pretty good.
Definitely has contention for the list. Looks like DC doesn't know how to keep its mouth shut when it's got a movie coming out, and but this time it's Gal Gadot revealing that Batman v Superman got retconned in the wake of Wonder Woman coming out because they wanted to give more light, airy hope to the series. Because basically, in Batman,
I don't understand retconned how.
So this is what they're saying I've read I know it's not up here, but I've read the article. They said in Batman v Superman, she's given up on humanity. She's given up helping man, and in Wonder Woman, it sounds like she's making it sound like it's implied that she hasn't given up on man, which I've seen Wonder Woman twice. I remember it kind of feeling like a follow-up directly to Batman v Superman because she gets that lenticular or the glass plate of the photograph from Bruce, and it's after Superman's died. So maybe that fight was what reinvigorated her faith, and then she had to have a Dewey Cox moment where she goes back on her entire life and figures out why she should keep fighting for man.
I think it's been retconned. I mean, she's trying to explain it, but I mean, I'll take her on her word, but it doesn't.
My impression was that she's
looking for help, is what it seems like to me,
or just not exposing herself so that humanity doesn't depend on heroes.
Yeah,
because that's Superman's whole thing was if you have this
and Superman's dad, remember?
Huh?
Even Superman's dad told him that. Yeah,
if humanity becomes too dependent on these gods to help them, then they'll just take advantage of it, and this society won't grow. They'll just be
exactly weak and.
Anyway, there is a video of Gal Gadot explaining that things got changed in the wake of Batman v Superman.
I'm interested. There's a video. I got the 4K version of it because I let one of my coworkers borrow my Batman Superman, and I haven't gotten it back in 5 months. So I'm like, whatever.
The
4K.
Best Buy is doing new steelbooks with Jim Lee art for Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad and all that. So if you need a new one.
Well, I already bought it, so
maybe
I'll get Suicide Squad in 4K.
I got mine for $6 at my store, so
it was a couple weeks ago. It was $16.99. I think that's actually pretty awesome for a 4K because they look amazing.
Just thought I'd bring this up. So Screen Junkies had its own little scandal 3 weeks ago with Andy Signori. being accused of being a creepo, along with everyone else in Hollywood, I guess. And Screen Junkies and Defy Media posted press statements and did a little 11-minute video, kind of like pledging to go forward and.
So what is Screen Junkies?
It's a new site like similar to Slash Film, but Screen Junkies does honest trailers.
So I'll never go to that website.
Other stuff. Well, Slash Film used to promote the hell out of honest trailers too. So, I don't know, but it was an interesting video. Like they addressed it in a very appropriate fashion. I think they were very responsible with, casting out the bad blood and kind of moving forward into something different. I personally like honest trailers, but I'm also I don't frequent Screen Junkie's site. But
what my favorite honest trailer is when the director of Kong Skull Island called out honest trailers is maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty
awesome.
Fun. Interesting little news in the world of reboots. Morgan Creek Productions, which made a lot of films in the late 80s, early 90s, and early 2000s, has rebranded itself and is looking now to reboot a lot of its properties, among them being Ace Ventura, Young Guns, Major League, and many, many more. Dead Ringers, Diabolic, Nightbreed.
I think actually Ace Ventura makes sense.
I'm curious how they would reboot that.
Haven't you seen Son of Ace Ventura? They've done it before.
No,
I haven't, but I know it exists.
I don't watch the unofficial
and the
spin-offs.
Cartoon show.
And the cartoon show.
I don't think that character works without Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
probably not.
That's the tough part. Young Guns might be able to work as a reboot. I think they're trying to do Young Guns as a TV show and a movie. Yeah, Major League. Sure, why not?
Yeah, can't really be. Well, I guess the Cleveland Indians haven't won a World Series, but they're a lot better now. Taika
Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok, says that a What We Do in the Shadows TV show is in development in America.
Man, I really want to see We're Werewolves. Werewolves, I mean.
Swearwolves.
Swearwolves.
Yeah, it's a pretty brief quote, but he's just like, we're trying to develop a U.S. version of What We Do in the Shadows, set here in the States, but a TV show. So
What We Do in the Shadows is one of those movies that's so clever you have to watch it a bunch of times to catch all of the really subtle jokes.
Yeah, I love it. I'm with you. I want the werewolf one. And then the last thing, this is pretty interesting. Regal is bringing dynamic pricing to theaters, and so basically, dynamic pricing, in a nutshell, is similar to what matinee pricing does, where the lowest attended part of the day is cheaper. But what they're trying to do is bring it into the weeknights and any time that's slow performing during the week, where the prices will be lower. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday might be higher price. So going to a movie during the week will end up being cheaper in the long run. This isn't the first time this has been done, but I guess Regal's trying to do it in a bigger way. I think they're trying to do anything to avoid what AMC's dealing with regarding Movie Pass. So they're trying to
Well, that too, and I think reading an article on the Hollywood Reporter about it, is they're also thinking about, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. You want to see that? Yeah, that one's $22. You want to go see The Big Six? That one's $6.
I was gonna say that's gonna really mess with records. So when Star Wars does 900 million, but if they initiated it for Last Jedi, less people are gonna go. So now it's it didn't have the same opportunity to make that much money. So
it's interesting that you bring that up because it's not really news, but William Friedkin was doing an interview regarding just the state of horror films today, and he proclaimed that he loved the movie It, but he put the caveat that even though it beat The Exorcist as the highest grossing horror film, it will not break the record of in terms of attendance, because the ticket prices were different back then compared to now. And actually drastically different. So he was bragging about his own stuff, which rightfully so. He made The Exorcist, for fuck's sake, where he was it was very good and I enjoyed it and it was very popular, but it won't have the same amount of attendance that The Exorcist did in its initial run. So he also said that he didn't see Exorcist 2 or 3. So
yeah, but they could just adjust for inflation on that one.
Yeah.
Having different prices for different movies significantly alters people's perception of
exactly because
how they decide where they spend their money.
If they charge $20 for Star Wars, And I mean, the same amount of people are going to go see it. I mean, I don't think they'll deter Star Wars and stuff like that. Do you?
Yeah, Star Wars is kind of like price proof.
Yeah.
Like, the demand is so high.
But I think movies like Transformers, it would hurt them. Because I think people see those movies because they're fun. But I think if you inflate the prices so much for them, they're not going to go see them.
Yeah, it's like...
It's cheap fun. It's supposed to be cheap fun.
Whereas you were like, oh, it's, $7. I'll go give Transformers a try. Now,
Exactly.
Now if it's 40, it's like, yeah, I'm going to wait for that on DVD for sure.
Exactly. You know, and I sometimes, even when movies that my wife wants to see in theater, she doesn't like going to the theater as much as I do. But I mean, then she wanted to see The Big Sick, and we never were able to balance it out. So I mean, I bought the Blu-ray, which was $14.99, which is a price for like one ticket. Mm-hmm. And now I own it, so I mean it's risky. I mean I understand why they're doing it, but
yeah, and it would help smaller films like
yeah, exactly.
If it's $3, people give Big Sick a try.
That's what. Yeah, I mean we'll see.
You never know. But yeah, that's real news.
And this is what's coming out on Blu-ray.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Insert disc into tray. Close tray.
Just a note, you don't have to say the bumper because we have it recorded.
So yeah, I know you're new at this part of it, but I give the segue and the bumper just comes in.
Okay.
Cool,
for sure.
I know you're new at hosting.
Just imagine, just imagine
Ryan's
everyone
doing
in their
air quotes right
underwear.
now.
Just
Yes.
imagine everyone in their underwear. Oh God, they're hot.
Ew, gross. You imagine Kellen in his underwear?
No.
You sick
You
pervert.
fucker. Oh, I guess we do have Harvey Weinstein here.
Whoa.
At least you pulled up the right website.
Oh boy. I can't win, can I?
Never.
So anyway, in Blu-rays, you guys wanted to see The Dark Tower, which is something no one's ever said. You can pick it up on Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD. It was god-awful. Also, Halle Berry's Kidnap, which...
Did that movie come out like 2 years ago?
No, it came out like I think in February.
It came out the same time as Dark Tower.
August?
Yeah. So...
Was it August?
Yeah.
Am I getting confused?
Give me back my son!
Am I confusing that movie
That's
with
a
The Call?
great imitation of Halle Berry.
Thank you.
We got some Shout Factory stuff, though, coming out. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
I have that pre-ordered.
And George A. Romero's Land of the Dead.
One of the most underrated horror zombie mill films of all time.
I do like it. It's a fun film. You gave me your original copy.
Yeah.
So, Vesteron's got... Why I...
Because you talk mostly towards Ryan like the whole time, so like half of what you're saying
Okay.
is...
All right. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Vesteron's got something out called Slaughter High, which has a skeleton, but he's got a graduation cap
It's
on. So
Average slasher film that I'll be getting as well.
Steve McQueen and Junior Bonner, which sounds like it's an archive.
Junior Boner, you mean?
No, Bonner.
Oh,
See, Bonner.
I know, but I want it to be Boner. Boner's like the funniest word in the English language.
There's a porn version, I'm sure, with Steve McQueen as well, called Junior Boner. There's a re-release of the Bela Lugosi film Return of the Ape Man. I didn't think that warranted a Blu-ray, but okay, cool, right
The
on.
monkeys. What noises they make.
I would give anything if that's something that was actually said in that movie.
Totally not, but it would be awesome.
Oh, God. There's a re-release of The Miracle Worker. I think it's from Olive Films.
Yeah.
Topper with Constance Bennett and Cary Grant. This is one of Cary Grant's earliest roles is getting a release.
He's like, when you watch him, you're like, I know why he's a movie star.
Oh, yeah. He's
dreamy.
He apparently didn't think too highly of himself.
Really?
Yeah, there's a documentary that Showtime or Stars did called Becoming Grant. And it talks about like how he was like consistently underwhelming himself, like his own achievements and whatnot. So,
Well, maybe that's why he was so good.
yeah, no, he didn't, because he didn't like think he was the shit, you know, like Clark Gable, who was like, I'm always the shit. But anyway, yeah, that's Blu-rays.
Wow, not a lot.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Well, there's some Studio Ghiblis that are being
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry.
being re-released by Shout. So they're being released by Shout. There's nothing new on them, and they've taken like 2 or 3 features away from them, but they're offering them for cheaper than the Disney ones. So they're like $14.99 opposed to $20.
Why is Disney letting them do that?
I'm not sure. Maybe because they do. I mean, because Shout does a pretty good job in re-releasing stuff, and I guess it's just like a value version of it if you don't want the Disney one.
You still get a cut of it, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's weird too, but
I imagine it might be confusing for consumers who are like, oh, I'm going to go buy like Princess Mononoke, they take it home and like, oh, where's that special feature I
Yeah,
wanted?
it is.
Oh, it's not the Disney version? Well, shit.
It is bizarre, but that's really what Shout and Scream do. Is they just go out and buy stuff from.
There are two more that I want to bring up. First off is Don Bluth's Rockadoodle, which I remember loving as a kid. So
is Rover Dangerfield on there too?
See, if Rover Dangerfield came out on Blu-ray, I would totally get it because anything with Rodney Dangerfield is money.
And then this one I just thought I'd bring up, Young Doctors in Love from 1982. It's an airplane-style film on soap operas, but I love the poster because it's two doctors in sanitation masks making out in what looks like a desert.
Nice.
So, see what you're doing right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Stop it.
For Shout Select,
yeah, now I know.
I really want them to do Soap for the Robert Downey Jr. movie, Soap Dish, because it's really funny and there's no Blu-ray for it. I think it'd be perfect for their Select line. And Last Action Hero, that's my dream.
Oh, did you hear why?
Shout, listen to me.
Did you read the article on why Arnold Schwarzenegger thinks Last Action Hero failed? Mm-hmm. He said it was Bill Clinton's fault.
Yep.
So there's one more thing we can blame Clinton's for.
Wait,
I guess
what?
I don't know. He said he didn't single him out. He said the tide had changed. We didn't really want the heroes of the '80s anymore, and like Bill Clinton was an example of that, where the demand was different.
I've said this before on this. I think it was a little too smart for its time.
Yeah.
Where it just made fun of itself when it was too close to him being. I mean, when it was Total Recall, 1990.
Yeah.
So 3 years after it, he's already making fun of what he's doing, and it's almost too clever for its own good back then. And I think it's a little long. I think it needs to be edited in some spots because the ending kind of drags. But it's still one of my favorite Schwarzenegger films. And I mean, anytime there's a guy named Leo Defarts, help me, get me out of here, I think is wonderful.
So you hear that, Shot Factory? You need to get on.
Yeah, listen to me. I've
I wanna
bought
know more
almost
about
150 of your Scream titles. I think I'm entitled for an opinion here.
You owe Ryan one.
Yes.
You remind
And, I mean, I'd prefer Soap Dish because it's not on Blu-ray, but Last Action Hero would be great with special features. Because the thing I like about Shout is they do the special features where people badmouth on them. One of my favorites is Bordello of Blood, and Corey Feldman just lays into everybody. He's about Dennis Miller and a couple of the other people, and saying like Angie Everhart was really nice, and but he just lays into him like, yes, those are the special features I love. Not, it was really cool working with him. Like what I did for the special features for Real Nerds Pod Show. Man, Brad's such a great director.
Totally easy to work with.
Totally easy to work with. Just kidding.
And I took all of his suggestions seriously.
Yes.
I liked your entitlement there. You reminded me of the old lady in the Futurama episode where they're at the stock market, where he's like, I got one share of Planet Kajigger, and I deserve a voice.
That's right.
So, anyway, that's Blu-rays.
We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment we call... How long has he been on this fucking show?
I thought you were going to say it. Sorry.
I
No,
was
what
waiting
we've
for
been
the
watching.
thing to come in, yeah.
What have we been watching?
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Brad, what'd you watch this week?
Oh, man. Well, so much because I watched a lot last week when we did the Film Explosion 2007,
right?
So we're going to play catch-up. And because it is the season, I'm going to start with I Saw the First Halloween.
Oh, wow, that's right. You've never seen it before, right?
I've never seen it, yeah. And it must be my turn.
It is.
Because Kellen's
He
screaming.
has a weird reaction to your voice.
I guess. It's so
It causes him to
deep
scream.
and scary. Yeah, so the first Halloween, I would rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween. It was so boring. I fell asleep in the middle a little bit, so I watched like Jamie Lee Curtis and her friend like driving around, and then Dr. Loomis like walking around Main Street, just like running into the same cop and saying like, I haven't found Michael Myers here, I'll keep looking. And then that's pretty much the movie back and forth until Jamie Lee Curtis
He did a pretty good job of it yesterday.
like, and takes care of the kids, and then Michael Myers is kind of like jump scares throughout the house.
Every kid in Haddonfield thinks this place is haunted. They may be right.
Yeah, like I don't know how this movie terrified people.
Well, shut up.
Sometimes I don't know what to say. I think I am in genuine shock. That's the first time I've heard someone say they'd rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween.
I've only seen that one once, and I remember being like way more like interesting and intense than like this one. Just it seemed like a student film that John Carpenter made, like to try out making a scary movie.
Oh God! It was made for $300,000 in the '70s. It was an indie film,
and this movie has like a pedigree of like it's more popular than like say like Jason movies or even like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like,
you may need to watch it without falling asleep and pay attention.
I mean, what did I miss? Like.
Probably all the good stuff.
Well, I mean,
was there like an awesome like string of kills that I missed? Because
no, he doesn't kill very many people now. I think four.
Yep, 4 people.
4 people,
and they like usually just get stabbed or like pinned to a cabinet or something.
Yeah,
or is their throat slit? You know?
No,
I don't know.
No, yeah, because Annie gets her throat slit in the car.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So.
I think the only knifeless kill is when he kills PJ Soul's character because he strangles her with a telephone cord. I will admit,
her boobs aren't that great. Yeah, I know.
No. Well, maybe that, but no.
She's cute.
The way
the girl in the bed.
Yeah, the way she's strangled, like by the telephone cord, it is rather weak sauce.
No,
like, it's very clear. Like
that movie is more about, I think, the atmosphere and the shots he's able to do. I mean, the Steadicam shot at the beginning is pretty awesome, where you go through with Michael. And he slides the mask over.
The POV shot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think it's, and that's why, and it ushered in the slasher stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know what? Movies are interpretive, and some people are weird and
and wrong.
And wrong. But you know what? That's okay. That's their opinion.
I mean, it's okay, Brad. You know, I mean, I personally don't like a movie about
a
bunch of turtles and a rat
hanging by his fucking neck in his closet. But
I don't like movies about 4 turtles and a rat that solve mysteries or whatever. You know, like that's just my
stuff for
thing.
everybody, especially idiots.
Oh, hey, love it.
Hi-yo.
So I also saw the Lego Ninjago movie.
Oh, cool.
Which is fun.
Yeah, it's like fun, but it's like the Batman movie's better, and so is the Lego movie. But it's fun. It's like
but it's the story is so much messier because
yeah.
Like the Lego Batman, like I like it because it references a ton of Batman stuff, and then the Lego movie is just like it celebrates years of like Lego inside jokes, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you play with the sets, you like, oh, there's like a magnetron thing, or
yeah.
You know, here's this detail about this, you know, the pieces and stuff. But Lego Ninjago is more like really about the dad's like father-son story, and then
like I actually think it starts really quick and then it drags when they go on like the mission.
It's also got the same plot as Power Rangers, the reboot from this year.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. But I also like took a little nap in the middle of it too. So
how do you sleep in movies? Like, so is this at the drive-in?
No, this was just at the South Glen Regal, the recliner seats.
So you just fall asleep. What if someone comes by and sticks their dick in your mouth or something?
Then I have a big problem.
You'd have a huge one.
I think what's worse is you're advertising it over this podcast.
Kellen,
yep, just trying out the stairs.
So now every listener knows that Brad is vulnerable for dick in the mouth, apparently.
Yeah, if you see me in a theater and I'm asleep, just go ahead and put your wiener in my mouth. Teach me a lesson.
I'm going to eat him if you don't stay down here.
But I saw most of the movie. It's just like a little part where, like, after they're in the jungle.
See, that part was the boring part for me.
Yeah.
I think the opening's really fun, and it's pretty funny when he's acting with Lloyd and stuff. But
yeah, I missed the part where like he activates the cat and the cat starts terrorizing things. And I also saw the Foreigner with Jackie Chan.
Oh, cool.
And Pierce Brosnan, and that movie's okay. It's a really complicated like political thriller about like the IRA and everything, but Jackie Chan acts his ass off. And there's only like 2 good like action sequences for him.
Isn't he like almost 60? So maybe that's all he can.
Well, yeah, understandably, like he can't like jump through like slide down a pole at the mall like 3 stories like he did in Police Story, I think.
Yeah.
But it just feels like there's 2 movies going on. There's like one where he's getting revenge for the death of his daughter and trying to expose Pierce Brosnan's like cover up or whatever. But then it's like Pierce Brosnan gets way more time in the movie to like track down who's setting up to be exposed. So, and then there's like a part in the middle where it's kind of like right out of First Blood, where his forces are going through the forest, and Jackie Chan's just like popping up out of the leaves and like stabbing him in the leg.
They drew First Blood.
Yeah.
Does the twist end up that Chris Tucker's exposing it all?
Yes.
Yes, awesome.
Like,
All right,
how did you get that?
I'm behind everything.
And then on Blu-ray, they released Batman vs. Two-Face, which was actually a pretty cool story.
It seems like it fits. It seems it's a little more campy.
It's actually more serious than
really?
the Return of the Cape Crusaders, which like kind of just kind of lampooned the 60s TV show. This one still does that, but also like does it with an interesting Two-Face story, because it starts out with Hugo Strange, and they also work like Harley Quinn into it. Well, she's Harleen Quinzel, so she's not transformed yet. But Hugo Strange is sucking all the evil, using a machine to suck all the evil out of like the rogues gallery. So the Joker's there, the Penguin's there, the Riddler, like all the big baddies. And then the machine breaks, and then that's how Two-Face gets created, because Harvey Dent's there, like overseeing the process. And then it like jumps forward in time to where they've like repaired his face, so he's back to being like a DA. But later on, you find out that the essence, like the gas cloud or whatever, created other Two-Faces. So there's like the actual angry part of Two-Face is split off into like a real person, and then so like he's the one committing the crimes, but you think it's Harvey Dent the whole time, and then like it reverts to like he's also doing it. It's pretty cool. I don't want to like spoil it because it is a cool mystery.
Who plays Two-Face?
William Shatner.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like that would have happened in the 60s.
Well, that's why they made it, is because when they did the 60 TV show, there was going to be a Two-Face episode that William Shatner was supposed to play live action, and it got canceled before that happened. So they decided to remake it, and thankfully they got Adam West in there before he passed.
Right on.
So, but yeah, it sucks that they're, I don't know, unless they get Ralph Garman to voice Adam West, they're not going to be doing any more of these like 60s animated movies.
That's a bummer.
So Patton Oswalt's Annihilation special is really funny.
I made my wife cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I think the fact that we're all very somber about it is a testament to how good it is.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but my wife said it's really good.
Yeah, it's straight funny for like the first half. Like he only does like 10 minutes of like Trump jokes, and then it jumps into like dealing with his grief over the wife's death.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also saw Rawhead Rex.
Yeah, I watched that this week too.
Yeah.
It's like a really cheap
of all the movies
rubber
4K,
monster.
Yeah.
So it has a really huge cult following. I do know I have a friend named Tommy, and he's a huge horror movie fan, and he loves this movie. And for those who don't know, it's a Clive Barker film that he just wrote. He didn't direct it, which the director, I don't know, straight out of like Ed Wood's School of Direction. But in it, there's like this demon that's trapped underneath this obelisk stone. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, just imagine like 2001.
Yeah,
that stone in like the desert. The monkeys are.
Yeah, and he just comes out of it.
They're digging around it for some reason.
Yeah, they never really fully explain why they're digging around it. I mean, his entry is cool with like the lightning going behind him, and then you see him like for real. Like,
If you look at the makeup too long,
yeah, it's a really
horrendous.
bad like rubber monster suit.
Yeah.
And so I got the Kino Lorber like limited edition one, and it has like really cool special features on it. The guy who played Rawhead Rex is this German actor, and he's just talking about he's almost like he's shocked he's talking about this film. He's like, really? You want to talk about like Rawhead Rex? And it's funny, I don't know if you noticed. So the rubber monster suit is really tall, but you can tell his eyes look through the mat, like the mouth. So there's parts where he's running, he's like the head's like leaned back so you can see. It's I don't know. It's like harmless. It's a really cheap monster movie. It's fun. I mean, I don't think it's great, but
No, the story is really confusing. So like
Yeah.
half the time you're just watching gore happen.
yeah. And I mean, I guess there's trailer parks in Ireland, but they call them caravan
Yeah.
parks.
This all sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I mean, it's not. You can't take it seriously. I mean, the gore in it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there is like the most gratuitous nudity part is when he pulls that chick out of the back and just rips her dress off for some reason. I don't know why. Guess because we needed some boobs.
Yep. But I probably would have liked it more had I not like had like the worst audience ever.
Oh yeah.
Within
It'd be a
like
bad one to see it with.
5 minutes, that one guy like made one joke and then the audience like validated him. So then it gave license to everyone to MST3K the movie, which I'm not sitting there going like, can you guys keep it down so I can like enjoy this masterpiece?
Yeah.
But it's still like at one point like this one guy got up, reeked of weed.
Kellen, stop it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. We need to. We're gonna be throwing it out.
No, it's fine.
So.
Can he ride the horsey?
No, yeah, he's fine. I don't care.
I mean, if he can, I don't care. But
So
anyways,
I don't know. Is he capable of riding a horse?
he is. He has his own.
There you go.
So they played it. I don't know if you've ever been in the upstairs of the Esquire, but it's like this small, I don't know, 100-seat room, and there's an aisle down the middle. And like an idiot, I took the very back row, so like the aisle was like there's no one in front of me, and then everyone else fills out the sides, and then this one dude like reeks of weed, gets up in the middle of the movie, and then decides to, instead of just going down the stairs and to the right, he goes up to me to go down the aisle that I'm in to the right and falls on me. He's like, "Oh, sorry, dude." Like, what the fuck are you even like?
Was there a lot of people there?
Maybe 30 people.
Wow, that's
not too bad.
It's pretty shocking for that movie.
I eventually just moved all the way across the room and watched it from the corner and took a nap. But yeah, it's the whole part of like for the rest of the movie, just like everyone saying like one-liners and stuff and like thinking that they're hilarious and they're not. So that was like, I hate this movie.
I like watching the room in that upstairs area. I don't know why, it just feels a lot more intimate. Like you get to hang out with all the people and whatnot, and they have the standees of Tommy and Lisa there. So
yeah, and then there's that barricade, so like all this stuff goes over.
Yeah,
that's where James and I first saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the room deserves to have people talking during the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Rawhead
it's
Rex
entertaining.
to be determined.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well.
Yeah, so let's see. Oh, yeah. Star Trek Discovery had a shocking milestone in Star Trek history. They dropped 2 F-bombs in an episode.
Nice.
Which I'm like, at the beginning of the episode, they have the little TV rating, which I'm like, this is online only from this point on. Why do you have a TV MA up here? I'm guessing for violence, but at the same time, like, why do you need the ratings guide? Because you're not showing it in broadcast ever.
Yeah.
Unless they plan on doing that in the future and totally making people who paid this $6 feel like they're a bunch of suckers.
Well, they just renewed it for season 2, so
yeah. So yeah, I guess it worked out. But yeah, just all of a sudden, yeah, that's why it was MA, because they said fuck twice.
you can find me on the fucking flight deck.
Well, the one like socially awkward girl, like they discover something and she's like, "That's fucking awesome," and then the other like ensign turns to her like, "Yeah, that is fucking awesome," almost like they're acknowledging like, "Yeah, we just said fucking Star Trek series."
That's like a wink.
Yeah, yeah, we did it. So
cool.
Yeah. So I guess look forward to nudity.
Oh,
in future episodes, I'm guessing so they're gonna like be what? Stop it,
JJ.
Your breath is horrendous. What is going on? Jesus Christ! What's happening to this show?
Dogs, kids.
And the last thing I watched is I'm like 8 episodes. God damn it! I'm
sorry.
8 episodes.
I know.
I'm 8 episodes into Stranger Things season 2, and it's
Kellen. Do not do that again. Sorry. Go ahead. House Stranger.
I can't wait till you
Things
guys talk
2.
for like 30 minutes and have like you're able to get straight through it with no interruptions. Yeah, Stranger Things. I like it more than season 1. Like it's pretty awesome.
He's playing with the little rocks.
yeah, there's so much 80s goodness, like nostalgia to it. Like
Nice.
this plus Glow plus Halt and Catch Fire is like a warm 80s blanket. And they like up their music budget, so there's just tons of 80s songs throughout the series. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I'm sure we'll talk about it more once James gets back.
Yeah, I have it downloaded, so I'll start watching it soon.
Yeah, for some reason I'm just more engaged in this story than like last season's.
Yeah, I've said this before, and I mean I actually got the Target set because I thought the packaging was really cool. The first season of Stranger Things is fun, but I didn't get into the hype of everybody else. I mean, it's a fun show, and I love the 80s nostalgia, and
yeah,
when Eleven flips the van and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, but yeah,
right at the gate, like they started the show like at an arcade.
Nice.
And the boys show up and they're like ready to like get the next high score in a game, and then the manager comes by and says like, oh, you're not the high scorer of this one anymore, and they like lost to Mad Max. And then like Mad Max turns out to be like this girl who's like really good at video games.
Nice.
So it's like really fun. And then the next episode they show up at school with their Ghostbusters costumes, and they look around like no one else is dressed up for Halloween. So
it's awesome.
It's great.
Nice.
And that's it for me.
Zach?
Not a lot this week. I went through the Saw sequels to get ready for this week. I still love 2. I think 2 is my favorite of the sequels.
Did you know it originally wasn't a Saw movie?
Yeah, it was Darren Lynn Bousman wrote something completely different.
Yeah.
And they said,
and they're like, oh, Saw's a hit. We'll retro.
We need a sequel by next year.
Yeah, fuck.
Let's rush this out.
Let's rejig this around.
Yeah. I love it's a technical term in Hollywood, the rejiggering.
Yes.
But so I love 2 a lot. 3 I wasn't always the biggest fan of it. This time I was very clear on my feelings on it.
I always thought it was ballsy that they killed him.
It is ballsy. Like that's
until they made 5 more movies, but
it's strong that they did that. It's just like I don't like Angus McFadden in the film. No. He's the father who's grieving, and then he's in the trap. I didn't really. I mean, I like Amanda in it, but I also like. I don't know. Like a lot of stuff feels like it's kind of like what we might be talking about later. Like they're trying to end it, or they're trying to like. They're leaving enough wiggle room and stuff like that, so that when it gets to 4, what I love about 4 is that it builds upon that gutsy move to stop or to kill Jigsaw and actually constructs an interesting story behind it, which essentially is the lead up to Backstab Academy, which is where all these cops go to apparently, and then train to become part of Two-Face Nelson Department of Corrections. So like it's the soap opera like trashiness of this series is what's kept me going, and I still had fun with it regardless of which film in the series I liked the least. 5 I still think 5 might be the weakest of them all, though.
I think so too. I think 6 is strong.
Yeah, 6 is very strong because it's got good ideas, even if they don't. Much like a Resident Evil movie, they don't always work, but some of them do work.
I think the gun trap is pretty impressive or pretty suspenseful.
Yeah, so
that's 6, right? Like it's the revolver going around and the...
Yeah, that's 6. Yeah.
They all blur together. I haven't watched them in a while. They all blur together for me now.
7, I still maintain I like half of that film. I do not really like Boondock Saints guy, Sean Patrick Flannery, as you told me. I don't like his... the idea behind him is interesting, but like I just don't like his traps. I don't like his thing, and I think it's kind of shitty that his wife has to die in a furnace at the end because of his fuck ups. Like that seems kind of like counterintuitive to Jigsaw, but whatever. Because from what I can gather, that wife did nothing wrong. Like that really kind of felt. That felt
I remember the sequence. I don't remember the events leading to it, though.
Which kind of like brings to the point that like the problem in the Jigsaw movies, one of the biggest ones is that whatever message was laid into the first one, like kind of like they kind of get away from it by the time you get to 7. But 7 still has. I still love the ending to the film with Dr. Gordon.
Yeah,
and
I think he We'll get to it later.
Yeah, we will. We will definitely. I watched the first Resident Evil movie.
Nice.
So I'm on my fun journey.
The first one's pretty good.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't think it's my favorite Paul W.S. Anderson movie. Because I mean, it's gonna sound strange. I'm still partial to Death Race, but that's just...
Are you supposed to have one?
I think you can. Event Horizon's fun. So
yeah, a lot of his movies.
He's a serviceable director.
Yeah, I think visually he's cool. Like, I think he has cool ideas. I think story-wise, his movies lack a lot. But, I mean, I think visually he's a cool director. I think he keeps a movie moving really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think stylistic he's good.
Yeah, and I liked Mila Jovovich in this film. Now, granted, like, my experience with Mila Jovovich is very different from probably your guys's, because I know her primarily from the movie Chaplin. And it's a very small role. Or Fifth Element. And I'm not the biggest Fifth Element fan, so there we go. But I like it. I'm going to keep going. I've got like 5 of them, and I've got to probably pick up the final chapter at some point to see how it all ends. But so far, great start.
I'm Zach. I'm going to impress her with my deep cuts.
I'm so...
It's like Out of Cardigan Sorrow. Like, I was watching Mila Jovovich and Chaplin.
No,
before.
but I mean, the strange thing is, like, you're not wrong, but that's the sad reality. I'm not saying it's cool at all. I'm actually, after watching Resident Evil 1, I'm convinced that I was in the wrong. So, but yeah,
Chaplin.
Yeah. Oh, I love Chaplin.
That movie's a good movie.
I think it's fun.
I mean, it's a little overly dramatic, but it's good.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is amazing in it.
But it's directed by the guy who spares no expense. So
that is
there
right.
we go. I watched a lot of SNL this week. I did not know what David S. Pumpkins was until this week. And that sketch is absolutely hilarious. But not so I showed my folks it last night. I showed them Haunted Elevator, and what I love is that they laughed in the same places that I laughed in it, because it's set up like kind of like a good horror movie where there's a twist at the end, and it's set up like a good sketch where it's like it's playing on your expectations for it, because it starts out weird. Like the first time Pumpkins appears on screen, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I don't know why there are 2 like skeleton dancers for him. I don't know why he's saying any questions. Like I love how it builds itself up. I don't know how, because we're recording Saturday morning. Tonight they're doing the animated special. I have no idea how they're going to stretch that out into 30 minutes. I'm curious.
It's Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that's true. But again, it's a very strange character. I love more than that. I do love the history behind that character with Bobby Moynihan going like it started off in a very weird place and it ended with Tom Hanks not wanting to do it up to the last minute.
Yeah.
So
because Tom Hanks said he didn't get it either.
Yeah, he didn't, but now he loves it. So.
Oh yeah, I mean. He's Tom Hanks. He can do anything.
Yeah, exactly. But the other, like, the sketches that, like, amongst the compilation of sketches that I watch, I love Bill Hader as Vincent Price doing his, like, silly holiday specials. Yeah. And, like, has different, like, celebrities come out. And I love it's John Hamm from Mad Men playing James Mason. And, like, he's just drunk off his ass. And he's just like, do you mind if I slip into something more comfortable? I can't feel anything below the feet. And I have a feeling that I piddled my pants. And then Kristen Wiig plays she plays Judy Garland in 2 of them when she's all, like, fucked up on pills. She plays Gloria Swanson in one. And it's a great moment where she grabs a pumpkin because she thinks she's a pirate. And she goes, get off my pirate ship, or the girl dies. And then the best one, though, she plays Katharine Hepburn in the Christmas special, and she fights a raccoon that popped out of the Christmas tree she brought all the way from Connecticut, and and she's like, I'm gonna go heal these wounds and throw away this dead animal. It's fun, and I think Bill Hader. I'm surprised. I looked at his filmography. Of all the films he's done, they've never tried to cast him in anything period piece related. I think that would be right up his alley. So, and that's really all I watched this week.
I'm not a big fan of Saturday Night Live.
I love Saturday Night Live.
He's probably too busy writing South Park episodes and
that's true.
Touching up everyone else's scripts.
It's probably a pretty good job.
The new stuff, I never could really get into. I mean, there's always a few sketches that my wife watches it every week. I'm more of, and I grew up at the time where nobody liked Saturday Night Live, but I love the 90s with Farley and Sandler and Spade. But a lot of people think that's maybe the worst part for Saturday Night Live. But I think too, it's when you kind of grew up.
I don't know. Every season I ever watched, like, it's not like all. There's not a show where all the sketches.
Oh
hit,
yeah, it's impossible for I think it to be
in any era. Like, it's just like.
I think a lot of it
that much comedy
depends on the host. Like Tom Hanks is a great host.
I think Baldwin's a good host.
But
Steve
when you
Martin.
get sometimes you get people like Lindsay Lohan and stuff, and they're not good hosts, or Miley Cyrus, and just like.
But yeah, I mean, I grew up in the Fallon and Faye era.
Oh yeah, no, I love
and
that
those
stuff
were good
too.
ones. But I also, at the same time, was watching a lot of the first 5 seasons, and I love Chevy Chase on that show. Like for the first season and a half that he's on it, and I love Bill Murray and Garrett Morris and Lorraine Newman. Gilda Radner's funny as fuck. Like even when she's in movies and whatnot, she was a funny lady. So, yeah, that's all I watched this week.
I guess I'll just pick off the Saturday Night Live stuff. I watched Dirty Work for the first time in forever.
Is that on Blu-ray or?
Yeah, it's like I knew it was on Blu-ray, but it was one of those Blu-rays that's really expensive for some reason.
Because nobody wants my Dirty Work movie.
Yeah, so I always have on Amazon recommendations for you, and then the Blu-ray was $9 a couple days ago, so I bought it, and then I was just on Amazon recently, and now it's back up to $20. So I'm like, that's a lot, and there's only a trailer on it. That's a lot for a movie, and the transfer isn't that good. It's an Olive Films one, but in it's Norm Macdonald plays this guy who gets back at people. He opens a Revenge for Hire business. It's really stupid, but there's some really like funny parts in it. It is Chris Farley's last movie, and there's he plays this one dude named Jimmy, and he's only in it a little bit, but so Norm Macdonald's with Artie Lang, and they're sitting at a bar, and Norm Macdonald's girlfriend threw him out and says, "Man, my life is bad, but it could be a lot worse. I could have my nose bitten off by a Saigon whore." And Farley's like at the end of the bar, and he slowly turns in the stool and is like, "You bastards!" And Norm Macdonald says, "We're just kidding, Jimmy. We saw you down there." He's like, "All right," and that's a scene. That's all Chris Farley does until a little later in the movie. The movie's actually really funny. Norm Macdonald's a horrible actor, and I think they knew that. It's directed by Bob Saget, and I think they knew. So he's literally just saying what's happening, and he's not that good as an actor, but for some reason, it endures it in
the performance works.
Yeah, it works in it. And Don Rickles is in it, and his scene's really great in it. Where he's talking to Artie Lang, and he's like, he's this manager of the movie theater, and he's Artie Lang is like, "Oh, you got something to say, Tubby? I can actually hear you crying." Yeah, you crying. And I don't know, it's really funny. It's like classic Don Rickles just belittling people.
He was a great man.
Yeah,
it's a shame we had to lose him this year.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like a really dorky movie, but I think it's really funny. One of my Chevy Chase is in it, and so is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler plays Satan in it. I think uncredited too. I don't remember him being credited.
I don't remember him in the credits, but I do remember him as Satan.
Yeah, because they eat these brownies that, so they're like non-fat synthetic brownies or something, and they're listing all these side effects, and they cut the next scene, and Artie Lang's like, "Oh man, I think I have a small itch behind my ear." "Nope, it's nothing." And it cuts to Norm Macdonald. He has all these hives, and he's like, and he cuts to Adam Sandler as Satan, and he's just saying funny shit.
I went through a weird kick before I went to film school where I was into everything Norm Macdonald.
Oh no, he's awesome.
And it's such a weird thing to like get into because his humor's so weird.
It is. When I saw Adam Sandler at the Belco Theater with Norm Macdonald, David Spade, and Rob Schneider and Tim Meadows. It's actually a really awesome show, and his stand-up was so funny. He's like, You think that they won't put the rope store and the stool store next to each other in case people want to, like kill themselves? What is he talking about?
Did you ever watch the Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget at all?
Yeah.
His so I love Lovitz's and all those guys, but Saget's is the best because he does anti-humor, where he's like, it's so weird. Like I'd have to post a link for you to see it again, but like it's clearly bad. But you just see that everyone around him is getting it except for the audience, and it's masterful. Yeah. I think he's really funny.
He's pretty great.
Yeah.
So that movie's fun. I watched Rawhead Rex, like we talked about, Goofy Monster movie. I'm halfway through disc 5 on Porky Pig, so hopefully I'll finish that this week. I also got, again, so me and my wife have been talking a long time is why we don't have an Amazon credit card, because we buy so much stuff on Amazon. And so I applied for one, and and when I got it, they gave me a $75 gift certificate to Amazon for getting approved. And so I bought, there's a Chuck Jones Mouse Chronicles Blu-ray, and then I got the other Platinum Looney Tunes. And the Mouse Chronicles, the first disc is just all Sniffles. I don't know if you know who Sniffles is. It's like this cute, I guess a cute mouse.
It was the Disney mouse that he tried to like, put off on Warner Brothers for a little while. Yeah,
and it was really early, so it's like 39 to 42 or something. And so in it, Sniffles is actually kind of funny, but a little too cute.
It's very Disney.
And so as he goes throughout his journey, he slowly starts getting a little more mischievous. And then they just drop him for Hubie and Bertie, I think is his name. Does that sound right? And those mice are pretty funny. So in that one, it's full like Looney Tunes, Chuck Jones. And then the Blu-ray is awesome because it has those 19 shorts, and then it has 11 like more. They're standard definition, but they're kind of cool on just to have them on there. So it's 30 cartoons. And it must be hard to find because it's also kind of expensive too on Amazon. So I watched that. The Mouse Chronicles was really fun. And did I watch anything? And I watched the first Spider-Man in 4K, which is beautiful. It's what's really cool about 4K is it's pretty much everything you've read about it. It's just really a lot more. It's brighter and the colors pop a lot more. So little things like on Spider-Man's costume, you can see like textures in the webbings and stuff like that. And then on the Green Goblin, you can see actually where his helmet is supposed to be. For people who don't know the Green Goblin's classic look, he has kind of like an elf stocking hat on. But when you watch it in 4K, you can actually see the purple make the stocking cap, and the little details in his costume are pretty great. And the special effects actually look better. Because I don't know if it just it renders it more or it has more line. I don't know how it works.
Are you still watching with the smooth motion on?
No, I took it off because
James Gunn told you to.
No, because it looks weird sometimes.
Because when I was watching the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on your like Rocket the Raccoon looked better with the smooth motion on.
Yeah.
And when it's like normal 24 frames, it was you could tell it was a CGI raccoon.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know if because that one was shot on film, it works better. So you can only get so much definition on the film because it just doesn't exist. I think it was ended up mastered in 2K, and then they upconverted it to 4K, and then they upconverted it again to be Ultra. And I mean, it looks great. And the first Spider-Man movie is amazing. It's one of my favorites. I watched Spider-Man Homecoming again. Sorry, I forgot to bring it for you.
No, it's okay.
And Spider-Man Homecoming is still my favorite film of the year. Just everything about it works, and yeah. So I watched those, and then the last thing I watched is the Meyerowitz Stories, which is the new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix,
co-starring Ben Stiller and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, Ben Stiller and Dustin Hoffman are also in it, and it's really, really great. Adam Sandler is amazing in it. He plays a divorced dad, and his daughter is on her way to college, and Dustin Hoffman is his dad, and Ben Stiller is the younger brother, but he's like the golden child. Everything he does is really cool. Dustin Hoffman always showers him with praise and affection, and Adam Sandler's just kind of the loser guy because his wife worked and he's never really had a job, but he cares about his daughter, and it's really clever. It's one of those dramedies where it's really fast talking. It's to me, it's a better version of a Woody Allen movie. And there's his daughter. It's so funny. So Adam Sandler's daughter goes off to like film school, and she sends him her first film, and he brings it up with his dad's there and his new wife, who played by Emma Thompson, and she's great in it. And he opens it, and it's her like naked and getting fucked and stuff. He's like wants to be supportive. And he's like, yeah, your film's really good, honey. And he's like, maybe I'll just watch this when no one else is around. So she's like naked in it, and then the next one they watch is she's like fucking some like dude in a fox costume, and he talks about how great she is. But it's actually a really great movie, and Ben Stiller's great in it too. And it takes place in chapters. So the first chapter is Adam Sandler, and then it's Ben Stiller. And they all have to live up to this Dustin Hoffman's characters like expectations of them, and you should definitely check it out. It's one of the best movies of the year. It's really fun. It goes by really fast. My wife even liked it, so yeah, check out the Merowitz stories. New and selected.
I knew that Adam Sandler Netflix contract would pay off eventually.
Eventually. So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool.
What's playing at the Alamo this week?
Oh no, my phone.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Halloween's playing on Tuesday, October 31st, 7:30.
Evil Dead's playing on Tuesday, so Jason and I are going to go check that out for Halloween.
Yeah, me and Brad were at the Alamo this week and placed 4th in the Disney Trivia.
That's right.
We fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
I tried to get my shift switched. I couldn't do it.
I know it's pretty great. In that our team worked really well because with Richard, he knew some things that maybe someone didn't know. Dana knew stuff, and then we just crushed it that last round.
Usually round 8's the hardest round of the quiz, and
everybody pulled something
2
from somewhere. Yeah, we crushed that round.
But I don't know if you saw the scores they posted, but my math says 79, and they said 78.
Oh shit!
And
so
79 was second and third place tied, so we might have been part of a 3-way tie.
And they just jonesed us.
Yeah. So.
Oh well, we still did really well out of 40 teams, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I still want you to obsess over that point scoring system for Geeks Who Drink. Make it your lifelong exception. Your hair grows long.
I think Dana's got that covered.
Yeah. And then I want to thank Xfinity for sending me a $200 gift card so I could get my Mario Switch, and that game's, oh my god.
Yeah, I've heard amazing things.
So it's one of those games where I started playing it, and it's I'm just gonna play it for a little bit because I had so much shit to do yesterday, and my wife was at work, and then we had to go meet our friends for dinner, and then we went and saw Jigsaw. It's it was 2, and we're meeting them at 5. I'm I'm just gonna play it for a little bit, and I looked down, it was 4:20. It's fuck. And it's pretty great.
How far along were you in the game? Is it like Mario 64 where you're it's the same level and you do it 5 times?
You can. So in it, you have to power a airship, and you can take the airship to different worlds. So as you progress through the game, you get more powers like Mario 64, and you can go back to the previous worlds to unlock more things. But it also is really strict on... So you have to get to the 3rd world, which is, I think, sand something, and then that's only when you can go back to the first one. So you have to complete certain objectives to do it. The graphics are stunning. And it starts cool. It starts with Mario losing his fight with Bowser. And the reason he gets Cappy, the hat that he can transform into stuff, is because Bowser throws his hat through the propellers on his airship, and it gets all torn up, and he falls to Cap World or Cap something, and it gets possessed by this little talking hat, and you throw it on anything, and you can turn into it. You can turn into Chain Chomps, a T-Rex, frogs.
A wall?
Oh, no, not a wall yet. But it also has cool controls. If you throw the hat and you move the sticks really fast, it spins around him, and so the game's amazing. So I'll probably get Zelda too. I did end up I didn't want the download of the game, but I really wanted the Switch with it, and I was like, man, what should I do? And so I just got it with it because.
Well, I might. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. They just might release red controllers as an extra later.
So they do have a wired one that's like a Mario controller.
Yeah, but that's not a Nintendo.
Yeah,
official.
so I didn't get it. And I was torn. I was sitting there looking at it.
The Splatoon ones, they have separate
yellow
and green ones.
I know they will eventually, but I'm whatever. I got a limited edition Switch. And what I thought was cool too, obviously it's the first time I unboxed it, you literally plug it in and play.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And obviously I linked my Nintendo account and I got all this free shit, and the Switch is pretty sweet. How many gigs is Zelda? I have 20 gigs left on my...
I have the card, so it doesn't save the actual game onto my Switch, so I don't know. It's probably 30.
Is it? Then I have to get an extension.
Well, I don't know about 30 gigs, maybe 30 megs. I don't know.
Because I have 20 gigs left after I downloaded Mario.
Yeah.
But...
Well, you can just get an SD card and transfer it off.
Yeah, so I actually have a question, though. So can you download games when it's in sleep mode? Because I looked online, and there's one said yes, and the other said no, and I can't find the right answer.
I don't know. I've never downloaded a game. for it.
Because you can, like on PlayStation, you put it in rest mode, and it'll update and download stuff while it's sitting there.
I think it does, because like mine's never really off.
Yeah, because there's no power off; it's just sleep, right?
Well, if you press the button and hold it down, you can turn it off.
Okay.
But if you just put it back in the stand, like it'll just sit there in sleep mode.
So
you tell it
I guess
otherwise.
I haven't really fucked around with it. So how can you charge it when you don't have the stand around? You have to take the stand with you, or is there like an adapter, like a game, like a 3DS adapter that you can plug in?
Well, the stand, there's a cord that it wraps into the stand
Yeah.
for the charging.
Yeah.
I think you just take it out of the stand and take it with you.
Okay, cool. I was just curious because I'm like, man, when I go on vacation, I want to play Mario.
Yeah, the stand it's just a plastic dock.
Yeah.
and you put all the components into it.
Yeah, so I was thinking that you probably just take the dock with you then.
You could take the plastic part, but I think you could just take the wire if you don't want to like have it sitting on something that like stands it up.
That, and I got a really sweet like Mario carrying case too. So
Nice. Yeah, my Best Buy account has like 400 like or pending points. I'm waiting for them to all update, so I get like $40 off of.
nice.
Yeah.
Because the game's awesome.
Even
So,
though
yeah.
it deserves to be paid $60.
No, I
for
mean
it,
I get it.
but yeah.
Fuck. I mean, when I used my Xfinity gift card, I still owe $200 more because I really don't need them, but I get the strategy guide because I love the art in the games. Like I love Mario's art, and so I get them because I like the art, just like the Batman stuff. But
Yeah, I can't wait for you to play Zelda though. Like I'm sure Odyssey's great, but Zelda's just like a complete work of art.
yeah, the Odyssey got 10 out of 10 on IGN. And I can see why. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And it's funny, like the bad guys in it aren't the so far it's not the Kooplings or whatever they're called. It's like these rabbits, wedding planners that are, because Bowser's going to marry Princess Peach. And it's like these.
How did he convince her to do that?
Well, he's using this special thing and she can't. It's like.
He's using.
He's using like a special. I forget. I'd have to go back and think about it. But basically, he's doing some spell where she's bound to him by like this ring. Basically, it's like Leprechaun 3, where he puts a thing around her neck and she's forced to marry him. And Bowser looks great in it. So yeah, it's awesome.
I feel so behind. I just got Pong.
Oh, yeah,
And
really far behind.
I mean, like I can't make any head or tail of it, man. Like
Pong's fun.
Yeah.
Have you played in New Donk City yet?
No,
Is that like a later level?
it has to be. I think I'm in the 4th level now.
Yeah.
But I also, I'm sure the same way. When I go into levels, I actually explore them.
Yeah.
Because I try to get everything in them the first time through, but then I found out you can't. But, so yeah, I run around a lot and try new things, try to get them to flip on stuff, and it's pretty brilliant.
Yeah. I really want them to like just take the worlds they created from like Mario World and 3 and make this versions of that. Well, New Donk City seems weird to me as like a Mario world.
They do, but I heard it's pretty fun. I'm interested to see. I mean, they have little 8-bit levels in them. Like, so you go through a pipe and you're like Super Mario, and there's Goombas and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Nice. They're back to using pipes.
Yeah. But so when you go through the pipes, you turn into 8-bit Mario. And the worlds are only like, I'd call it like one arcade screen, but still fun. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, that was I didn't watch anything the last couple of days because I've been playing Mario. But we saw Jigsaw. Zach, should people go see Jigsaw?
like I'm not all the pieces fit here.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Funny, but boo. File it.
I wouldn't discourage anyone from going to see it. However, I've got issues with this film.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I'm the only one here. I will say though, there are certain things that this film does to correct problems I had with 6 and 7. In regards to Tobin Bell, but we'll talk about that after the trailer jump.
Let me spoil it.
Yeah, overall though, like, go to a matinee for it. Like, have fun with it on Halloween, but after that, like, I would never discourage anyone from going to see like a slasher film or a horror franchise like of this, because it is ultimately about having fun. But if you're like a dedicated fan, I think you're going to be about as frustrated as I was. So. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Maybe don't go. Maybe go.
Brad?
So this movie could easily have been titled Saw 8.
Yeah.
It's not the glossy reboot that I thought it was from the trailers, which was nice. But that means it's still like it's cool that it's still an extension of the films. Like, it's another story. It should just be another chapter, like I said. And there's some cool ideas in there, but overall it's like more the same. So in that aspect, even though I was like, oh, I don't want to go see like a reboot of the Jigsaw series, at the same time I'm like, I would have appreciated something newer out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you're a fan of the series, go see it, because again, it's another. It might as well just be a sequel. But if you're like not a fan of these movies, then you're getting more of the same, and then you're not going to be impressed. So,
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think if you're a fan, you should see it, because I think it does add to the mythology of who John Kramer is, and it gives more backstory to it. But at the same time, I said this when I saw the trailer. It's a little too clean for me for a Jigsaw Saw movie. It looks too polished. As when we get to spoilers, I'll say why that kind of bothers me too. And also, it seems like the writers took CSI and inserted it into Jigsaw. So you have like the CSI moments, and then you have the Saw moments where, I mean, I don't know where they work, where they're able to get voice recognition in a couple hours, but...
Also, is this, how far in the future is this? Because they have like laser knives.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some inconsistencies there, but I mean, if you like the Saw movies, it's fun. And, you know, I was already, we'll get to it when we get the spoilers, but there's parts in the film like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense on what they're saying, and how it's, when you're watching the puzzle part and then you're watching the CSI part, I mean, this doesn't really line up right.
It's incredibly convoluted.
Yeah. So here's the trailer for Jigsaw.
Now the game's simple. The best ones are. You want mercy? Play by the rules.
Any identification on the victim?
Puzzle piece. But Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years.
It's not him. Can't be.
This was on the body.
The truth will set you free.
Help!
I'm chasing a dead man.
Just running scared.
It's the copycat.
Each place we go. So afraid.
Live or die. The choice is yours.
Just running.
You know what happens if we don't follow the rules?
The blood under the fingernails of our victim, John Kramer, the Jigsaw killer.
That's impossible.
Which one would you choose?
He said it was a game. Games can be won. It's Jigsaw.
No, it's not creepy at all.
When I say too clean, like, there's no like grime to it.
Mm-hmm.
And spoilers 1, 2, 3, 4. So this takes place. This is before he does his first thing with Dr. Gordon and that other dude,
Adam.
It takes place before that one.
Hello, Adam.
Well, part of it.
Yeah.
Does.
Well, no, that's his
The
first
main
trap.
story-
The trap that he puts everybody in is before that.
It is, but the edit. So, like, one of the things that this film does really well, and I'll give it really good credit for, is that the way it's edited, it does manage to hold its secret pretty long. That what the trap is, like the maze, quote unquote, that everyone's going through. is actually like taking place further in the past, whereas the CSI cop stuff from Douchebag Academy is happening in the present.
Yeah, and that's where I was like, oh, the stuff we're seeing is way in the past, because when they're explaining it, because even though you don't realize that it's 10 years prior, the part where the dude's hanging by a bucket from the bridge, I'm like, wait a minute, if he just died,
well, that's not the guy who just died.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what they're playing it as in the movie.
Yeah, and rightfully so. It's making you ask the questions of like what feels disjointed here, because the film feels disjointed, but the editing, like,
it's
again,
like a puzzle you're trying to put together.
Yeah, and again, I will give the editing credit. Like it managed to hold that secret. That wasn't really too much of a big secret, but like it managed to hold it long enough to where it needed.
Well, it was long enough where they reveal John Kramer, the Jigsaw killer, as alive. You're like, oh. I mean, I knew he
Not
wasn't,
really, yeah.
but like, it's like, oh, they're showing him walking around and.
So this must have been a flashback. So, like that's where I was like, oh, it's a flashback. Okay.
But then also,
so then how does this all connect?
Because it takes so long to get there. I'm just sitting there the whole movie going like, how is this one dude like have all this time to like set up all these traps and like put people places, and then like how are they getting around so quickly?
It does boil down to the whole apprentice thing, which started in 2.
I mean, he obviously has tons of acolytes, because I'm like, I don't know how many followers there are for Jigsaw, but
and like we were discussing it earlier in what we've been watching. So like the story that they have, before we really spoil the biggest twist in it, like. So the twist at the end of 7 is that Dr. Gordon, after he sawed his leg off, he became a follower of Jigsaw, and like basically in order to find out, like he became a follower. I guess there wasn't even any ulterior motive, but it was very clear at the end of Saw 7 that this was kind of the end, because they were bringing Elwes back. And when I didn't hear that Elwes would be in the film, like when I heard like there was like the cast listed had no mention of him, I'm like, okay, how are we going to do this then? Because Saw 7 made it very clear what the biggest reveal of all was, in my mind. And so like I give a lot of props to the writers of this film. They had to like come up with something in
the writer of the film liked one of my tweets.
Oh, nice. But they had to come up with something remotely interesting in the absence of that twist from 7.
It's the traps were meh. It's I liked the last one. I thought it was clever with not the lasers, but
the shotgun,
the bloomin' onion part, but like the shotgun, because he gives you all the clues, and that's what I like about Saw, is if you pay really close attention to everything he says, the answer's there.
The key to that chain is in the bathtub.
Yeah, or in this he says, the key to your salvation is in here, and he pulls up the shotgun shell, and that one chick is a bitch, and it backfired. But the one thing that always bothers me is like some of the dialogue is really bad. Okay, and like with the cops where he's like, yeah, well, it's an election year for the commissioner. Do commissioners get elected? I don't know. I've never heard of an actual commissioner except in New York City. I guess they're in New York City. But like, I know the one red herring bad cop guy was really obnoxious. He was like Master Chew scenery, except in a bad way.
It just, again, like I like the previous ones because of the like. Despite the fact that they're all douchebag cops who stab each other in the back frequently, they were still like decent actors. Like Costas Mandylor is really like a solid actor.
But see, the thing too is even with Cary Elwes, when he's hamming it up, like he's good though.
He works it into a relatability. These guys were rough to watch. Like the medical examiner, and then the Jigsaw fangirl. I liked the idea of a Jigsaw fanboy, fangirl, whatever they wanted to do with it. Like,
but isn't that like police evidence? Like,
that's
locked away.
That was weird too.
Like, how do you have a private collection like that?
But again, they can maybe solve that problem in Jigsaw too.
Yeah, eventually they probably won't release it in these cases, but they release that stuff eventually.
Auctions.
Through the DA and auctions, yeah. But I would doubt if for a serial killer and for someone that prolific that they would ever release it to the public. It might go to a museum, like the Unabombers. No, I'm not joking. The Unabombers like shed is in a museum in DC.
I'm not doubting that. It's just I love the idea of like This makes me now want to know where the fuck do these people live?
Yeah.
Like, do they live in like Detroit or like fucking like something like? So it's got to be some kind of grimy city because we've seen in the past. But like, it's got to be like this kind of like Duckburg, like where it doesn't really exist, and it's considered like we don't go there because that's where evil happens.
Yeah, it's just like I know. And some of the things I figured out where the killings are happening. Like, how did you figure it out? And there's just weird editing choices.
It was because of something in the grain or like something that they found on the
I
body
get the
of
grain
one person.
part, but like, so she knows it's that one farm that's out in the middle of nowhere, and
Well, the city that they live in only has one farm.
It was that pig disease.
yeah, yeah.
That's how she figured it out.
No, I get that part, but she traced it back to that one farm. I don't know.
A lot of like loose like.
Well, I guess the woman who has access to all the jigsaw traps can also have a lot of
I
access
guess so.
to police information.
I guess so.
I mean, this movie stretches further than I do in the morning when I get up. Like it's very like.
Yeah. Or when he took snippets of John Kramer speaking and like put them in tapes. I mean, I don't know where John Kramer's like, he was also my nephew. Where does he get that audio from? I don't know.
But then it is revealed that he. So can we get into that spoiler now?
Well, I mean, I'm already talking all
the medical examiner is one of John Kramer's first followers, and the reason he works with John is he was put in the initial trap that we see at the beginning, which you then reveal is actually recreated in a different fashion to get the other bodies. But long story short, he ineptly and stupidly mixed up John Kramer's X-ray results with someone else's X-ray results,
No, I
and
get
so
that,
therefore,
but where does he get his like dialogue where he's saying those words though? I know he's editing them like Brad edits, but like it's very specific in what he's saying about the.
maybe he said it for a tape that didn't like make the cut. You know, like you know how Prince has all those songs that he never released that he recorded in his bathroom.
Okay, so
The Kramer tapes.
yeah, so medical examiner dude is sitting down. It's like, these are my confessions.
I wonder if it's whatever tape that got him like this part of his trap. He just cut up. And used.
I guess maybe.
Yeah,
but I mean, he says his nephew died after the brakes didn't work on his motorcycle. I don't know where he got that dialogue from, but
the Kramer family is full of bad
yeah. I
luck.
guess for like the 4 people that are stuck in the movie. Yeah, he had to like cut up a lot of John Kramer dialogue to make 4 different tapes.
Yeah, well, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, it's.
There's a lot of convenience too. Like that one guy has to he has to know that one alpha dude's gonna try to go through the no exit, and then he has to like build the floor. So, like if someone else had accidentally walked over there and like stepped through the board, like like the girl would have her leg stuck in the trap, and then the tape goes off, and it doesn't apply to her.
And like I said, the last trap is the only like jigsaw trap where I'm like, oh yeah, that's like a saw trap where you have a way out, but you fucked it up.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I guess Kramer did do those recordings because that one took place 10 years in the past with him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all those scenes are.
Yeah.
The only new stuff is
the one that they found in his neck, that dude's neck.
Yeah.
So I guess he was able to do it. I mean, if he had enough tapes, I mean, he killed 38 people before he died, so I guess he could do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remembered wrong.
It's all convoluted. Like I mean, I'm going for the ridiculousness of it at this point because we've moved way past the initial first Saw, which was a clever little take on the thriller genre, and now it has become wholly ridiculous, but not. I'd say even more ridiculous than Jason movies because at least Jason movies we know. Like that they're not taking themselves as seriously as possible. Saw has a problem with taking itself too seriously, I think, sometimes.
And I mean, they try to inject humor in it, but the dude wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's not creepy.
Oh, that was a terrible moment.
Not funny.
They should have cut that the moment that trailer came out. They should have said, "Oh, we should cut this because we're not dumb." But what I was gonna say though, I do love that Tobin Bell. So like in 6 and 7, he's relegated to one scene on screen, and then everything else is just his voice recordings. I liked that in this film, regardless of it being a flashback or whatever, we got a really good scene with Tobin Bell doing the shotgun moment. Yeah. I think Tobin Bell is like the reason to go to these movies at this point. And like sadly the fact that I don't know where Dougie is sleeping, buddy. I don't know it sucks that they killed him off in 3 because it does limit the options we have to work with Tobin Bell on these films. And again, it's a shame because he is the draw and he's the reason you want to watch these films nowadays. Except for me, like I said, I like watching the assholes at Douchebag Precinct. So like it worked at the end of the day. But I thought this twist, like making it another apprentice, like I thought the fangirl probably should have been like the one behind it. Or maybe or like somebody, but like having it be another like and for like the line that bothered me the most was probably when he's describing why he's an apprentice of Jigsaw. He says like, but he let me go because he realized it wasn't really my fault. I'm like, so this makes Jigsaw seem very petty and like given to bursts of anger, the same way I am when somebody like would cut me off on the road when I did drive. Like, where I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna put them in a trap, and I'm like, because he cut me off. Like the guy like made a mistake in his first year of residency.
Nothing matters, and then you didn't use your blinker on I-25.
I
choose left or right.
See, I would love to see petty Jigsaw at this point because that's what we closely got in this film. But it doesn't matter because then they get together again and they make a trap together like a father and son. That was a weird moment too.
He put his hand on his shoulder and was no, you make it this way. We're going to put this on some drug-riddled lady named Amanda.
It was the weirdest Father's Day movie I've ever seen in my life, but
Not mine. It's called Father's Day.
Oh yeah, that's true. Forgot there is another movie of that nature. But yeah, I mean, we're recording early enough where we don't know how this did at the box office just yet. But it was tracking 20 million. I don't know.
That's, I think, a $5 million budget. I think they're fine.
They're 10 million. Well, yeah, but how good it does will depend. Like, will we get another one, or is this the end? Most horror film franchises have 2 cards to play. They have the reboot card and they have the remake or where do we want to go from here card. And they've played their reboot card, and I think that they didn't really take full advantage of playing that card because they just made another Saw sequel, but refurbished it, I guess. So,
Cool. Yep. James, you missed out. I mean, you got to see a bloomin' onion head. Yep.
So, the CGI bothered me in this film too. Too much CGI.
Really a lot of it.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
That one guy looked like
in the grain silo. I could see lines of those instruments falling down on him and whatnot.
I mean, they're going to drop real ones.
Yeah.
I forgive stuff like that. I thought
no, not me.
Good.
I want to see them go in, go big or go home.
Yeah, that
guys.
one. The first corpse with the hat, the diagonally sliced head, was pretty sweet. The guy who gets into the cyclone and then he's like a mannequin.
The blender boy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the gore is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like another entry in the Saw series.
I mean, I'll get it because I want to complete my collection, but
yeah. It bothers me. Like, why do they call it Jigsaw? It just make it Saw 8.
Yeah,
it's branding and it's trying not to isolate the audience. I do like that this. I mean, hopefully this means they'll release a better Blu-ray set when this comes out on Blu-ray.
I know. I was looking on Amazon. You can get stuff from their warehouse. Like every Saw movie's $3 used from their warehouse, so it'd be $6 for all 7 of them.
Nice.
I mean, that one set I think you already have is usually $9 for all of them, but they have no special features.
They have no special features. I mean, it's all the unrated cuts, but no special features at all.
Yeah.
But I like the cover too because I think the Billy doll is really iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways, next week on Real Nerds we're seeing Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be going to the cosmics of the Marvel Universe with Thor and Hulk.
Yep.
Valkyrie.
Looks like a real piece of shit.
Until next week. Fuck. Bye. Real Nerds Podcast is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. The Real Nerds would like to thank the Alamo Drafthouse in Littleton and now open in Sloan's Lake. We also would like to thank Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, especially Andrew. Our music has been brought to you by Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios. And, of course, thanks to James's mother, our most loyal listener. Have a nice day. Real Nerds Podcast is a partner of Denver Podcast Network in the shadow of the mountain.
We speak.